In a recent rant from Teen Mom star Tyler Baltierra, he slammed God, which led fans to believe that he only worships himself. Along with his wife, Caitlin Lowell, they have no filter, speaking very candidly about adoption. So, what has Tyler dissing a higher power? Keep reading for further details. It has been nearly 16 years since Tyler Baltierra and Caitlin Lowell gave their daughter, Carly, up for adoption. Although it was heart-wrenching, they believe this was the best option. She was adopted by Brandon and Teresa Davis, and it was supposed to be open. They saw Carly once a year, as documented on Teen Mom. Tyler and Kate went on to get married and have 3 more daughters, but in 2024, Carly's parents blocked them. This crushed the couple after they were unable to see her for her 15th birthday. Since all of this went down, Kate and Tyler have been very verbal about the trauma they have felt. Caitlin Lowell, Tyler Baltierra. More so, they do not hold back when it comes to the Davis family. This has stirred a lot of drama because fans believe they need to stay silent if they ever hope to see Carly again. Recently, a fan and follower shared that God is vital in this process. They added that Caitlin and Tyler need to lean on this higher power in order to get back to Carly. It went on to say that if the couple could see it, they need to give it up to God, and in a few months they would see the commenter was right. Tyler Baltierra. After this person left the comments, Tyler Baltierra quickly clapped back. The Teen Mom star slammed followers of God and stated he has a very special relationship with his spirituality. Therefore, that is what he will lean on, and does not need any further advice from followers regarding whom he should follow and trust. The way he responded hit fans the wrong way, and they believed that he was only invested in worshiping himself. Tyler only worships himself. After Teen Mom fans saw the way Tyler Baltierra seemingly slammed people encouraging faith, they were less than happy. He has been trying to act somewhat balanced, but one would never know it based on his reactions. Former co-star Farrah Abraham called Tyler and Caitlin out for being addicts and gaslighters. She has not been a fan of the way they have handled things and, like many, feel they should focus on their 3 daughters at home. So, after Tyler had slammed God, what else did followers have to say? Pretty sure he worships himself. Pretty sure he also sees himself as the patron saint of adoption and all adoptees. No one else could possibly know as much as he does. He uses a lot of words to say so little. Tyler thinks he's a god because he's the only boy out to the trailer park who owns a dictionary. It was also noted how he watches a church service every Sunday to catch a glimpse of Carly. Yet, if that is the only way he can safely see her, he should be grateful that a higher power brought them together. What do you think of Tyler's rant, and has he gone too far? Let us know and watch Teen Mom, the next chapter Thursdays on MTV. In a recent online outburst that has sent shockwaves through the Teen Mom fandom, Tyler Baltierra, known for his candid and often controversial opinions alongside wife Caitlin Lowell, launched a scathing rebuke against religious advice, prompting a fierce backlash from followers who now accuse him of self-worship. The intensely personal nature of his comments, coupled with the ongoing public drama surrounding the adoption of his eldest daughter, Carly, has ignited a fervent debate about faith, celebrity, and the boundaries of public discourse. For nearly 16 years, the story of Tyler and Caitlin's decision to place their daughter, Carly, for adoption has been a cornerstone of the Teen Mom narrative. It was a heart-wrenching choice, made with the conviction that it was the best path for their child, who was adopted by Brandon and Teresa Davis. The initial agreement for an open adoption, meticulously documented on MTV, allowed for annual visits, offering glimpses into Carly's life and the complex relationship between the birth and adoptive parents. Despite building a family of their own with 3 more daughters, the emotional ties to Carly remained profoundly strong for Tyler and Caitlin. However, the delicate balance of this arrangement was shattered in 2024 when Brandon and Teresa Davis made the unilateral decision to block communication and visits, preventing Tyler and Caitlin from seeing Carly, most notably on her 15th birthday. This severance of contact has plunged the couple into a new, profound wave of grief and trauma. which they have openly and vociferously expressed across various social media platforms. Their raw emotional responses have not been without consequence. The Baltieras have been exceptionally vocal in their criticisms of the Davis family's actions, a stance that has drawn considerable scrutiny and concern. Such public condemnation could further jeopardize any future possibility of reconnecting with Carly, advocating for a more reserved and strategic approach. The belief is that maintaining a respectful silence might ultimately serve their long-term goal of rebuilding a relationship with their daughter. It was against this backdrop of emotional turmoil and public debate that a well-meaning fan, attempting to offer solace and guidance, suggested that divine intervention might be the key to resolution. The commenter urged Tyler and Catelyn to lean on this higher power, God, in their efforts to regain access to Carly. The message conveyed a sense of conviction, promising that if the couple would give it up to God, they would see the commenter's words proven true within a few months. Tyler Baltierra's response was swift, cutting, and unapologetic. Instead of embracing the sentiment or even politely declining the advice, he launched into a sharp retort, effectively slamming followers of God and asserting his very special relationship with his own spirituality. He vehemently rejected the notion that he needed any external advice regarding his faith or whom he should trust, signaling a strong personal conviction that his spiritual path was entirely his own and not subject to public commentary. This unvarnished reaction immediately struck a discordant note with a significant portion of his fan base. Many interpreted his words not as a defense of personal spirituality, but as an arrogant dismissal of organized religion and, more broadly, of any advice that didn't align with his own worldview. The prevailing sentiment shifted from empathy for his pain to criticism of his perceived hubris. The consensus among many disgruntled fans quickly coalesced around the idea that Tyler Baltierra, rather than seeking guidance from a higher power, was instead engaged in an act of self-aggrandizement, ultimately worshipping himself. The accusations of narcissism and self-importance are not entirely new to Tyler Baltierra. Throughout his tenure on Teen Mom, he has often been portrayed as intellectually confident, articulate, and at times, overly verbose in his explanations of complex emotional dynamics. His former co-star, Farrah Abraham, a perennial provocateur herself, recently weighed in on the Baltierras' public grievances, publicly labeling Tyler and Catelyn as addicts and gaslighters. Abraham, like many others, has openly expressed her belief that the couple should prioritize their 3 younger daughters at home, Novely, Veda, and Rhea, rather than relentlessly dwelling on the Carly situation in such a public and seemingly unproductive manner. The online discussion following Tyler's controversial comments further amplified these criticisms. Social media feeds and fan forums exploded with reactions, many mirroring the sentiment that Tyler's ego had overshadowed his spiritual claims. Pretty sure he worships himself. Pretty sure he also sees himself as the patron saint of adoption and all adoptees. No one else could possibly know as much as he does. He uses a lot of words to say so little. Tyler thinks he's a god because he's the only boy out of the trailer park who owns a dictionary. These comments, often sharp and derisive, paint a picture of a celebrity perceived as overly confident in his own understanding, perhaps even to the point of intellectual elitism. The insinuation that he believes himself to be the ultimate authority on adoption and personal experience, disregarding others' perspectives, resonated deeply with those already critical of his public persona. Adding another layer of irony to the controversy is the well-known fact, often shared by Tyler himself, that he and Catelyn have resorted to watching Carly's adoptive parents' church services online every Sunday, solely to catch a glimpse of their biological daughter. This poignant detail, meant to convey the depth of their longing and the lengths they will go to see Carly, is now being used by critics to highlight a perceived hypocrisy. If the only way they can safely see Carly is through a religious service, some argue, then surely there should be an element of gratitude or respect for the higher power that, in their view, facilitates even this limited connection. The implication is that if God is instrumental in providing even this small window, then publicly slamming faith seems incongruous with his actions. The ongoing saga of Tyler and Catelyn's relationship with Carly, now compounded by Tyler's polarizing spiritual commentary, leaves fans questioning the couple's strategies and motivations. Has Tyler's outspoken nature, once seen as refreshing honesty, now crossed a line into self-destructive grandstanding? Is his passionate defense of personal spirituality a genuine reflection of his beliefs, or a thinly veiled expression of frustration and perhaps